This will come 2 slides. Keep it carefully in your brain, especially finance and project controls. This is going to be an important thing. Section 73 and 75 of the Act. Compensation. What is compensation?
You give something and sort something that I'm going to compensate, and the next invoice you do something now.
You give something in the loss of something. He lost his car, you give
No,
his
no,
car. It's
no, not like that. Let's keep it in this construction. Like, okay, now you are doing this thing additional. I'm going to provide you X money and that thing. Now you.
Then what is variation?
Compensation.
And what is variation? If you ask somebody to do, you came to my shop, you buy some clothes from me, you give me the money. Is it compensation?
No, sir, whole different.
You are saying your example is the same thing. You told, I asked you do it extra and then I will compensate you. No, it's not compensation. It's a payment. Think the thin line.
Compensation, we can say what agreed and it is not done. And for that, the customer and customer fee got some loss or
In
income some
law.
loss.
Where there is an injury, there is a compensation. And injury is legal injury. हाथ पे चोट लगने वाला नहीं. Injury is legal injury, where the right of a person is taken away. Is an injury. For every injury, there is a compensation as per law of tort. Legal injury. Legal injury means that person signed an agreement with you. You ask, you do extra this. So he got an injury because you have not amended the order and you asked him to do something and he did it. Extra cost he incurred. It's a legal injury to him against his benefits. So for that, you need to compensate. Payment and compensate. What example you were giving were payment.
Okay.
Its compensation means somebody has already suffered. You are compensating it. While the example you given was sale. I sold this service, I get the money. I incurred the loss because of injury, which is not mine or because of my customer. Then I will get a compensation.
The compensation could be extension of time.
Yes, because it was never planned. It was because of the reason attributable to the customer. For suffering, the suffering party from party breaking promise. If you ask to vary, you are breaking your initial promise. You are asking more. So the suffering party will get the compensation. Now excluded are remote or indirect loss damages. They are excluded from this. Now let's see an example quickly. A contracts to repair B's house in a certain manner and receives payment in advance. A repairs the house, but not according to the contract. B is entitled to recover from A the cost of making the repairs conform to the contract. Correct or not? Correct. Compensation or not? Okay, great. Second example. Now you reply. A contracts to supply B with a certain quantity of iron at a fixed price, being a higher price than that for which A could deliver the iron. So he is going to sell at a higher price. B wrongfully refuses to receive the iron after making the agreement. So now what is the solution? B must pay A by the way of compensation. The way we are doing, if you are terminating a contract for our convenience, we are bound to pay the supplier whatever he has incurred by that day, if there is no default from him. Same way. So the law supports this way. Now breach of contracts. Penalty, LD comes here. Compensation for breach of the contract. When we say liquidated damages, what does that mean? Anybody? It's damages also. Why we write liquidated?
The revenue, it will affect the revenue or in gas inflow
Revenue
or the gas inflow due to
unliquidated also suffers.
that means the promise which was not fulfilled, due to that there is impact on the gas inflow. I mean the revenue which was supposed to be generated, it was affected by this.
Very near. Very near. Liquidated is, I made a project. I determined that this will be the value of project. This is the advantage. This will be my revenue. Based on that, I can see that if the other party delays it, suppose in this project, my generation loss will be this much. So how much as per law I can recover? I fixed that value and I liquidated, means fixed it in the starting, that if you delay for this, if you make lack of performance of this, you will pay me this amount. And that is my right. When you say liquidated means it is fixed in the start. It will not vary. It will not vary. It will not be negotiated. It will not be subject to some compensation by some court of law. It is fixed. If it goes to court also, if it is a liquidated damage, you have to pay me. Most important, I need not pay my actual damage for this liquidated damages. It's my right. It's a penalty. No, vendor cannot dispute it. If he delayed for this, then delayed. Provided I have waived it. Okay. Delay the dispatches for 5 days. It is acceptable to me. If I have not done so, though he says undisputed LD, majority of suppliers says there's nothing in this word called undisputed LD. LD itself is a right of thing. It's a penalty. It's a liquidated, which is already fixed. He cannot negotiate on that. He can say that no, it was not 5 days, it was 2 days, but he cannot say no 7%, not 3%, because you have not sustained the damages, or you will not charge me any LD because there is no actual loss to you. You are also not ready. No, I have my right. Whether I am ready, irrespective of anything, when I liquidate it, when I fix some damages, you have to pay me.
Sir, for the delay cost, if there are any external factors, then the LD is applicable.
Force major something.
That again, see, that comes in the process. You have to be specific what type of cause. If it is
External factors, sir.
external, can be anything. It can be his, for you it's external.
So
So that is force majeure. That will take up in the future slides. Don't worry.
Pandemic.
Liquidated, no need to prove actual damages. Always keep that in mind. It will help you in life in negotiation with the parties. When he says no undisputed LD, make it less. No. Liquidated is frozen based on that revenue. Prevention, your point. Based on that. Example, A contracts with B that if A practices as a surgeon within Calcutta, he will pay B rupees 5,000. A practices as a surgeon in Calcutta.
Sir, sorry, going back to this. In our terms and conditions, there is a statement that says this shall be considered as liquidated damages and not penalty by the subcontractor.
Yeah.
There's a statement in our TNC that says that the sum specified
I
in.
have gone through that clause. This is wrong. As per law, it goes under penalty. Yeah, see also when you open that, after this, you can open this clause also and see it. A practices a surgeon in Calcutta. B is entitled to such compensation not exceeding 5,000 as the court considers reasonable. Okay, so this is fixed, something he cannot negotiate. Again, if he agrees, it is liquidated. Resigning the contract. Anybody, what it is?
Residing.
That's why I'm asking what it is. I'll tell you anyways. Anybody?
Negating the contract.
What negative?
No, that's a
Any amendment?
Force majeure comes from frustration. Termination comes from like that. Now you see exactly what it is. Party resigning entitled to compensation. If I resigned because of your fault. Sustained any damages due to non-fulfillment of promise. The way we say that 10% LD, if you still not recover, I reserve my right to terminate. So it is resigning because of the default of other party. I need to prove that I sustained a damage due to non-fulfillment of the promise for termination. Example, A is a singer contracts with B, the manager of a theatre, to sing at the theatre for 2 nights in every week during the next 2 months. So she makes a contract and B engages to pay her 100 rupees for each night's performance. On the 6th night, A willfully absents herself from the theatre. Important word, you should see this in the eyes of a lawyer. Willfully is added. Okay, so intention comes here. She's at fault when the word willfully comes. B in consequence resigns the contract. Is it legal?
Yes, yes.
Is he entitled to claim the compensation?
Yes.
Yes, because the other party is at default. But here he need to prove that what he get as a loss because it was not liquidated. It was not agreed in the starting. Now he has to prove the actual, the way we do. When we say our claim for compensation, we never write claim for payment. No, claim for compensation because we already got the injury. Now you have to heal it with the payment.
Can it be more than 100 rupees?
No, again, that depends on the case. You know contracts.